Okay, welcome to the Social Living Podcast. I am your host, Julian Green, and my co-host, Jamal Lawrence.
Yes, I'm here.
Um,
We're here.
yeah, we are here, we're live. We're recording live on stereo today. This is episode six, man. Episode six.
Big
We made,
six.
we made it to the big six, man. Like number six, man. Has that got any meaning to you? I don't know if there's anything significant that has a six in it or whatever to you.
Yeah, not I'd say not to me personally, but when I think of the number, it's mad. I either think of Drake, six
Yeah.
God, 666, and Illuminati, which
You
is
think
mad.
longer, you think like 666.
Yeah, yeah, that's what comes to my head. We'll have to have a conversation about Illuminati and the
Yeah,
conspiracies on social as well, because that's a
yeah,
massive
trust
space.
me,
But yeah.
trust me, for
What about
sure.
you, man? When you think of a
I,
number six, what comes to your head?
I think because I'm an Arsenal fan, I automatically think Tony Adams, like number
Mm.
six, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like I might even be wrong with that, I feel like he could have been number five. But you know what?
Man.
I think I think football and I think centre back and I think defense, I think leader, and that's what I think in it. So Um, if Tony Adams was number six, I think he was. Yeah, that's what I
Mm.
think of. If he was number five, I'm sorry, guys, but it still makes you think of him. And yeah, that's what it makes you think of. Normally, your number six or your number five are the leaders, isn't it? So,
Mm. Mm.
yeah, that's what it makes me think of. Yeah, but yeah, man, episode six, man. Let's dive into it, man. This one is all about the Kardashians, man. We've labeled this one the Kardashians' Guide to Social Media.
Mm.
Is there a secret formula, man? Is there a secret formula? So yeah, man, let's dive deep into into the Kardashians and their story, man. Like
I
it
think,
all like
yes.
go on.
I was saying I think it's fitting as well because I saw today that if this is they're going into their 20th season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So what a great time to talk about it. 20th anniversary, like.
It's mad to
Yeah.
think that they've been doing that for 20 years, bro.
20
It
minutes.
is
They've been documenting their life, which is crazy. They've been doing documenting before it was cool. Like Chris, Chris Jenner needs a statue.
yeah. Cristiano's been killing it. You know what? And like, even if you go back to like before, just like all the girls, you could arguably talk about like the dad, didn't it? Kardashian, when the dad, their dad that died, he was actually a part of the OJ
Simpson
Simpson
Towell.
trial. Yeah. So like there was even like a level of fame before all like when whilst the girls were even young and growing up kind of thing.
Hmm.
Obviously it's nowhere near as big as they are now. Like I feel like collectively all the Jenners and Kardashians, they must have over 1 billion followers, like if you accumulate it all together, innit?
100%. 100%.
So yeah, man, I think that's probably where it started. I do forget Kim Kardashian's dad's name. But yeah, he was
Bruce?
obviously pardon?
No, no, that's not. It's Kim Kardashian's dad. It's not Bruce Jenner.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Nah,
No,
nah,
no,
nah.
no.
Nah.
It's he was a lawyer. Is it Rob
Yeah, I don't know.
Kardashian?
Yeah, Rob, I think it might be Rob.
Yeah, Robert Kardashian.
Yeah.
Because he was a lawyer. So he was a lawyer. Again, this is a quick plug to Netflix. If you haven't seen the case of OJ
Mm.
on Netflix, definitely check that out, man. That was a really good series. Like,
See, I've
and
not seen that. I've not seen it.
definitely check it out. Ross, is it Ross from Friends plays Kim Kardashian's dad. Yeah, he does a good job. So he was like good friends with OJ Simpson, and he was like part of the defense. But as he goes through the whole trial, he's starting to believe that OJ Simpson actually did do it.
Mm.
Um, so it's an interesting situation for them to be in, and Kim, Courtney, and I think Chloe, they all kind of like slightly feature in it as well as like little kids
Okay.
like under 10 years old or so. So
Mm.
yeah, man, this is interesting way. And I guess that's that kind of birthed them in terms of like being in the limelight. And then
Yeah.
I don't really know who was the first to kind of burst into the scene, but in terms of like personally, all I knew about was Kim Kardashian, man. Like
Hmm.
she went out with everyone, I feel like. I feel like all these
Everyone.
young
Yeah.
rappers. the singers and stuff, they were all going out with her, and then also the sex tape came out, and then
Mm.
I think I don't know if that was like intentional, but like it
You know
definitely was
what?
a big raise to fame. Like
I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't think, yeah, honestly, I think Kris Jenner has it in her to make that public
yeah, one
because
hundred
of,
percent,
yeah, because of the awareness and the noise it would create.
100%. I think like if when we talk about like the Kardashians and them and their guide to basically smashing social media, I think that speculating and like kind of like having these like rumors and using attention to kind of get the bag is definitely a part of their strategy.
Hmm.
Like when things like Kylie Jenner comes out as like the youngest ever billionaire, you know, that's that's another way of like using that type of content to generate more. So once everyone thinks, oh yeah, she's a billionaire, you're gonna go out and support and buy her products, and now she becomes like some sort of idol in a different sense, not just like in a fashion sense or a beauty sense. It's now in a
Hmm.
business sense. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like that can also be used to just drive more revenue her way.
Mm.
So when I was doing my research, to be fair, I found out that she was the youngest ever billionaire, but has since declined. So
Oh, okay,
her
that's
net
interesting.
worth is now 700 million
Okay. Did it
as
say
opposed
why?
to no, I didn't get that far. I didn't get that far. But I found that quite interesting that like as much as it's about getting to the billionaire status, it's also about keeping it as well.
Hmm.
Um, you know what I mean? Things like COVID can affect people. Some people make money through COVID, some people don't.
Yeah.
Um, so it is about being clever with your money, where to invest it, and things like that, and what your assets. And I don't know about her business. I don't know if the valuation of her businesses still hold the same value. Obviously, we recently seen that she started a new business. That's what you sent me, right?
Yeah. Kylie Swim. She's entering the swimwear game, which is
Oh
like
yeah,
a massive move. Already
yeah.
on. Ooh, let me check the followers because I did check it.
When you sent it
Um,
to me, and it was like, I feel like you just announced. I saw it had like 300,000. I was like,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. So,
I was
yeah, so
like,
now it's on
already
600. So it got
600K.
announced on, yeah, it got announced on the 17th of August, and it's
Mm.
already on 600K. It's
I
crazy, man. That
what?
shows that influence.
Trust me. And does she have any posts on it yet?
Three posts so far. Um,
Free
all look
posts.
pretty, yeah, all look pretty ad hoc at the moment.
Mm.
Minimal captions and yeah, it's just killing it already. Like one video
Yeah.
highlighting the
Show,
swimwear.
trust me. Shows it definitely shows her influence, man. And like, I think like if it wasn't for social media, definitely won't be where they are today, man. Like we've seen, especially in the past before social media, we've seen so many celebrities kind of come through like the whole reality TV show aspect, and like not many of them have like kicked on and become like something bigger than that reality TV show. But the
Hmm.
this family for real have taken it on board and ran away with it in a different sense. And like you can arguably say like, yeah, Kris Jenner has been like the godmother of everything.
Hmm.
Um, even though she's got the least amount of followers on Instagram with 42 million in comparison to like Kim Kardashian, who's got like 250 mil.
Yeah, Kylie's on
Kylie's got
260.
260.
Yeah,
Chloe's got 180. Kendall's got 180. Courtney's got 140. Like it's a
mad
lot.
numbers,
Like
mad numbers.
absolutely mad amount of numbers. Like and like also when it comes to this influence on marketing, they must have been like one of the first and one of the biggest in the game because
Mm,
I hear that like Kylie used to charge like up to $1 million a post. Like imagine
mm.
that.
I wonder what it's worth now.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
Like it's probably going to be a lot bigger, um, a larger amount. So yeah, but anyway, if she just collecting 1 million easy from a post, that is easy money, man.
yeah, there's worse
Um,
ways to get that money, bro.
yeah,
There can't be many easier ways to get $1 million.
yeah. And like,
It's
look,
mad.
when you get to that stage of like being a billionaire, it's almost like $1 million or £1 million might just be really easy for you to be able to get because
Hmm.
you've amassed so much more past that. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I guess like that's where we're trying to strive into those realms of like, getting past the 200,000, 300,000, get to a million, retain that, get to 10 million, retain that 100 million. Do you know what I mean? And you want to be able to get to a billion and be able to retain that.
Mm.
And you want to be in a different conversations to where you want me to post? All right, yeah, that's a million. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
make it look. Yeah, I'll just say Domino's. Yeah, is that yeah? Okay, cool, done.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I mean about a script and stuff. So yeah, man, it's been big, man.
Mm. But
Like
then again, to touch on influencer posts, it's not always about saying yes to the bag because we saw what's her name? Kendall Jenner and the Pepsi advert where she got a lot of backlash from because of what Pepsi were promoting at the time. It can affect your personal brand image. So it's yeah, even though the bag might be nice, it's about thinking through your strategy and what that might be.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's true. It's true. I like if you look at certain strategies. So like if we take, I don't know if you remember, like I feel like it was maybe 2018 where Kim Kardashian, she did like a picture of like where um what was it? It was like she was like naked. It's like a naked, like it was like a like a hourglass,
Yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah.
glass.
I
Do you know
remember,
the
I
one?
remember.
And it was like, but it was like that was like labeled like break the internet.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And like that's like building hype. Do you know what I mean? And then like shortly after she announces how she's becoming like a lawyer and helping people. So that she proper uses her what's it called? She uses her hype. She knows how to generate the hype and be able to kind of convert followers
Hmm.
into dinero, like into money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, definitely.
So like yeah,
You
man,
see it,
like go on.
you see it with artists as well. You might hear a scandal about an artist and then they drop an album. Like people use it across the board to
Mm.
build up that hype, build up that heat around you before you announce your money maker release because you want as many people to know about it as possible. So
Mm.
it's like the saying about there's no such thing as bad PR because
Mm.
yeah, we could reel off loads of examples of how brands and influencers, celebrities have used that in their advantage.
Yeah, I think what's good as well because we work in social, it's like sometimes we can see something from like the back end. So like we will see like a picture or see an artist do something, and you will realize, oh yeah, he's doing this because he's about to drop a project or something's about to come out. Like when we see like to take it back to the UK, when we see Chipmunk going at Stormzy and he's just
Mm,
about to release his mixtape. Do you know what I
mm.
mean? That we can see like that ploy where some other people might like the general public might just be like, oh, it's gone at this person. Oh man, who's gonna win? Da, 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 da.
Yeah,
But not
yeah.
realizing that they're basically being puppets into what that was meant to do, what emotion that was meant to trigger, if you get what I
Hmm.
mean. So yeah,
They're
man,
so
we can
strategized, man. They've got a team around them to put this ahead. We
yeah,
just
trust me.
But it's
Trust me,
interesting
man.
going back to Kim Kardashian and the sex tape actually. It would be interesting to see because we can't see how scalable that would have been for her. But if that came around when they were on Instagram fully, how that sex tape affected her following, or I guess you could do it by the viewer numbers of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, what the
You know
spike
what?
would have been
Yeah, 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 yeah. You
from
know
that.
what? Yeah. I think it would have had the same effect if it was to happen like again, like now or something.
Mm,
I just don't think it's a classy way. Like you're never gonna see a sex tape of Jay-Z and Beyonce. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
mm,
it would never happen just because
mm,
when it comes to accumulating attention and things like that, they have like a very classy approach as opposed to what the Kardashians are doing. I'm not saying that the Kardashians' way of doing it is bad, but I'm just saying that it's like they can use good and bad publicity and really like plug at certain strings um and really plug in your emotions to kind of build that hype. where I feel like other artists or millionaires, billionaires, whoever it might be, may do it in a different way, if you get what I
Mhm.
mean.
Yeah, and you can't
So,
really knock them for that. Like everyone can get the bag in a different way. And I will probably go on to talk about this later, but that the way the Kardashians move in terms of sexualizing themselves to build their following has led to so many opportunities for I want to say girls, but for people out there in terms of businesses and them individually, like the rise of OnlyFans. If social media and the Kardashians didn't promote themselves in that way, would we see
mm,
a social media platform just for, I know initially they didn't set themselves out to be a porn site, but to go down that route, would we see it as accessible as it is? Probably not.
yeah,
Like, it's just,
probably not. But you could argue that the Kardashians have single-handedly birthed like this whole influencer, like I guess like market to a certain
Mhm,
extent. Like, being just using that, grabbing everyone's attention and just using it and just, leveraging it
mhm,
in whatever way possible, from like high profile relationships and just, generating income from that. Like they was it Kylie was with Tiger, Kim was with Kanye West. Even the
mhm,
naming of their children is all like published. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's all mad. Like even for Kim to go from like being a model to being like in the sex tape to now being a lawyer, like this
a
is
lawyer.
all like attention um like that they've used and to leverage it for their own benefit. Like it's incredible.
Mhm,
It's incredible. But
mhm,
also just as much as they're leveraging this audience and stuff, I feel like there it is quite aspirational, but then also at the same time, it could also have a negative effect, especially on the younger generation, mental health wise. When you see like kids nowadays, what do they want to be? They want to be influencers. They don't even
mhm.
care what it's at. Like they're just trying to be a influencer.
Yeah,
Like and
yeah.
that's
You try
what
tell them what you want to influence or how you want to influence this. There's no reason behind it. It's just they just want easy money.
Yeah, exactly that. They just want easy money, and it could be detriment. Like if I had a daughter in this day and age, you know what, God will probably bless me with a daughter next. But like, I feel like I'll be so much more protective because I feel like it does seem like little girls can get influenced by obviously these younger girls. Like so, like you could be 18 years old and you're like, I'm not influencer yet, and suddenly it's like you're doing something wrong because Kylie Jenner was a billionaire at 21. Do you know what I
Mhm,
mean? Like, and they're comparing their lives, and suddenly, like, it can lead down to like a negative thoughts of like, suicidal thoughts and feeling worthless and things like that. When, like, again, like they probably need to step away from social media, but they're
yeah,
constantly in your face at the
yeah.
same time. Like, look how great my life is.
It's these unreachable and unattainable goals that are set on social, which highlights probably the negative side of it. Because as a
Mm,
young person, you probably don't have that self-control to see stuff like that and realize that though it's been attained by others, it might not be attained by you. And this, yeah, just noticing that, like, it's tough for the young people, but yeah, I can't see it changing. I can't see it changing. I feel like we have to change. We have to educate the people coming up
yeah, we do.
about
I think.
these unrealistic opportunities or yeah,
Yeah,
anything in
I think
general.
we agree. I agree with you. I feel like it probably needs to start in schools. Like I feel like in schools you probably need to teach kids how to use social media and stuff like that. Like I'm not sure about you when you were growing up, but for me, when I was growing up, they definitely taught us about the internet. And at the time, it was like chat rooms and like what you should and what you shouldn't do. And I feel
Hmm.
like that needs to be done. That needs to be exactly the same for social media. Like when you're feeling like this, try to close the apps or have like maybe like a 5-step process of how to, if you're feeling in a certain way because of social media, here's 5 tips that you can do instantly to make you instantly feel better and protect yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think things like that need to be highlighted more, especially in young people, because like they're the ones being influenced the most. Do you see what I'm saying? And it'd be interesting to see like what tools like Instagram, YouTube have, because they've got like they're focusing on a lot of apps specifically for kids. And I wonder if that once they step out of that kid bracket, if it actually helps them, you know, on the adult bracket of Instagram and and YouTube, for example. So yeah, like yeah, I feel like there's definitely a negative side to the whole come up of the whole Kardashians at the same time, because you've seen other people do sex tapes and that and try and kind of build attention and then try and drop like swim line or I don't know dresses, whatever it might be. Yeah, like now I do real estate or whatever, or they're dropping a new course or whatever. Like I've seen it in
Yeah.
like love and hip hop and stuff like that. I can't remember people's names specifically, but yeah, like on those shows, yeah, we've seen people that drop like sex tapes and things like that, and it's just like they're trying to use the same technique. You could arguably talk about Cardi B coming up in the way she's come up, and um, I feel like she's done it in a similar way, becoming starting off as a stripper and then becoming one of the biggest rappers in the world. Like that wasn't something that was normal that would happen. Normally, if you were a stripper, you had one type of respect, but now it's almost like strippers are the new celebrities that are the new Kim Kardashian, so to speak, if you get what I mean. Like so loads of people trying to do it on the side and like, yeah, this is how I get my money and they're trying to demand respect from it at the same time and things like that. Not to say that you shouldn't get respect, but yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's funny how society is just has spun it to where it was maybe 20, 30 years
We've got a message from royalty inside my DNA. I'm just gonna play it now.
ago. All right, hit me.
It's not playing for some reason.
We are trying to kill my editing dreams. Yeah, trying to kill my editing dreams. All right, cool. We didn't quite get that message. I don't know why it didn't play.
Yeah,
Maybe there wasn't really a message there. But you know, it doesn't matter. We keep it going, man.
yeah, we'll keep
Uh,
moving. We'll keep moving.
Um, but yeah, man, Kardashians, they've killed it. They got a mad ton of followers. They know how to develop like a personal connection with all their followers as well. Sharing opinions. They are great at building hype. Even when like the sisters go at it at each other on like Twitter and stuff like that. Like it's like, oh, what's the next rollout? When they do that and it's like suddenly, oh yeah, here's the new show, the new season, or whatever it might be. And they're 100% killing it. They all got whole high profile kind of relationships. Is Kylie still with Travis Scott?
Yeah, they are. I think they're back together now. I'm literally on her Instagram at the moment, and yeah,
I heard
they're
there,
back together. And
I heard
yeah,
there
it
was
just kind of.
huh?
What was you saying?
I heard that they're expecting. I think they're expecting a second child, or there was like
Oh,
a
really?
yeah. I heard that this is what happens, man. This is what happens. That got me researching all the Kardashians. I feel like I'm hearing the gossip. You know
Yeah,
how it's
you're part
going.
of it, man. You'll be getting Hello magazine and them things there soon.
But yeah, no, I heard there was like sneak peeks of like a slight baby bump that she's trying to hide and show at the same time. Again, just another way of building hype. She knows
Mm-hmm.
exactly what she's doing, and suddenly swimwear's out. So
Yeah,
um,
man.
I know exactly
You
what
see
that's
the
about.
alignment. You see the alignment.
Hundred percent.
It'd be interesting to sit down with Chris Jenner. I'm not sure if I've seen any podcasts or anything, but just to see her take on her children's lives and how she's taking control of their destiny really and put them in the
Yeah,
path they're in today. Because that
yeah,
she'll have some hot takes, man, that a lot of people and a lot of businesses can learn from. Because yeah,
yeah.
the growth she's had with her children has been a joke. I don't know anything. I
True.
can't even compare it to anyone else. I can't think of anyone else that has been able to provide that amount of growth to their kids.
You know what? Like certain names come to my head. Like when I think about like the Jacksons, for example, you could talk about Joe Jackson and how
Mm.
he kind of got the Jacksons up there, and then obviously we had the birth of Michael Jackson, and then there's like Latoya Jackson, Jermaine Jackson,
Yeah.
Janet Jackson. Obviously, I feel like it's different in terms of numbers now, but back in the day, like in the 80s, 90s, um, their influence could have been just as big. Like it's hard to tell because you didn't have social media that could track,
Mhm.
how many followers and stuff like that. Things like the internet, people weren't as connected and things like that. But Michael Jackson was massive. Uh,
Massive, massive.
massive. Like, yeah, you could argue it's like Drake's reach that he has now. And everybody can just knows who Drake is,
Hmm.
and they know one of his catchy songs. And
Hmm.
yeah, I think Michael Jackson was like that, and I think slightly bigger. But again, it's hard to compare versus
Hmm.
time.
Do you think Michael Jackson works now? Do you think if Michael Jackson was to come about in this day and age, do you reckon he'd be as big as he is?
Um, I think it's hard to say. I feel like this generation, they will relate better to a Drake than a Michael Jackson. Like you
Hmm.
would never understand like a guy coming out in like a shiny jacket doing a moonwalk. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like that right now might just seem goofy
Yeah,
or it's
yeah,
like that's just a one-off trend dance. But like when Michael Jackson did that back in the day, that was everyone thought this guy was floating. So you
yeah.
go home and start practicing this floating. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
it's
Yeah, but imagine that on TikTok. Imagine the
yeah,
moonwalk on
that's
TikTok.
the thing. That's
Jesus.
and the thing is he had all that. Is basically he
Mm.
had all that without these apps and stuff. Like he,
Mm.
he, he was that guy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And like um he was unbelievable. And even just like for me, it's the boss moves he would make as well. Like I hate to take it to this place, but I'm sorry, but social media, like when you like you're like a business owner and stuff like that, you start to see these things. So like Michael Jackson had so much money, he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy the royalties of the Beatles, the rights to the Beatles music. And obviously at the time, the Beatles were like the biggest ever boy band that's ever been. So their
Mm.
music always gets resampled, used, always gets played because it's like timeless music.
Mm.
And he bought the rights to their music. So he starts earning royalties from their music. And then he bought the rights to Happy Birthday. So there was a
This is
period of
crazy. What a
time.
move that is.
So at the time, there's something that's called PRS where like if people play your music like on radio, whatever, you get royalties for this. But you have to pay for a license to be able to play certain music or whatever. And when you play certain music, that music, the owner of it will get the rights to it, right?
Mm.
Will get their royalties from it. And I think there was a period of time when Michael Jackson owned it. I don't know if his estate still owns it, but when he did own it, you weren't allowed to sing Happy Birthday like the way we sing Happy Birthday
Mm.
in restaurants. So then they would have to sing it like in a different way. So instead of Happy Birthday to you, you have to sing
Mm.
Happy, 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 Happy. Like you had to sing it different.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you didn't have the rights to sing that. Do you know what boss move that is? On
Mm.
top of his own collection of music,
That's
which is
ahead of his game, man. Ahead of anyone else in that generation.
ahead of it, man. I could talk about Michael Jackson all day. This is meant to be about the Kardashians. But yeah, man, Michael Jackson, I still think in this day, uh, I reckon it'd be massive, man. If he was still alive now, it'd be massive. Like
Mm.
he would be doing songs with Drake and stuff, like in a different
That's
way,
I
man.
say this like this is a conversation again away from Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians. If he didn't die when he did, do you reckon his legacy would be the same? Because I say the same about Biggie and Tupac. I feel like them dying earlier adds more respect to their name. I feel like if they end up lasting longer, it kind of takes away that impact they have.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like with Michael Jackson, I don't think I feel like he had already peaked.
Hmm.
So I don't think it's the same as like Tupac and Biggie because I feel like he peaked and he also had this the people are still trying to tarnish his name now. Like they had like
Hmm.
the whole was it Forgiven Neverland or something like that. There was a
Yeah.
documentary about him and the kids, and I don't really want to get into it because I feel like I don't know too much about it, but like there's still like sections of the music industry that's still trying to like tarnish his name, and like there's the whole thing about him becoming like black, like having the pigmentation issue, whether it's an issue or whether he bleached his skin, you don't know. He never says he bleached his skin, and he's like he wakes up one day and he said he wakes up like this, but it's like that sounds like a fairy tale, but it does come across as if like people were out to get him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they didn't want him. They didn't want him owning all this music as well. Like he was a powerhouse. Like, but at the same time, you couldn't argue. Like who 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 just walks around with a chimpanzee? That's a bit weird, and a kid. Like that. Those things
Yeah, it is.
there are weird behaviors there as well. Like people are gonna attack those things. So
Mm,
um, there's no such thing as like I guess like the perfect artist, man. Everyone's gonna have, something that kind of slightly stains their reputation to a certain extent.
mhm.
Um, and that's kind of what happens. You see, some people, Jay-Z and Beyonce, a perfect couple, but when you see in Beyonce's sisters thumping up Jay-Z in the lift,
Yeah, what a
they
moment that was as well. I can't lie. Twitter was, I don't think Twitter's peaked since then. Twitter, oh, that's probably the best moment I've had on Twitter when Jay-Z got dumped by Solange. Oh man, the
yeah,
memes
man.
were crazy. The memes were
Exactly, so many
crazy.
memes, and it still gets brought up today, and
Mm,
there's so much stuff. Like I rate the way that Beyonce and Jay-Z, the way they handle their I guess their issues, because it does come through in their music as well, and in their
hmm
art, like, so to speak. And I feel like I think that's a good part. It doesn't just go cold turkey and left up to speculation. Like they
hmm
do
They
kind of
address
like
it in their own
they
way.
kind of, yeah, they dress it in their own way, and like they just handle it. There's rumor that Jay-Z has more kids, and he probably does have more kids, but
Mm,
um, it's not like, but like that's not for the rest of the world for us to actually know. He doesn't need to come out and
yeah.
say, "Look, I got more kids." No, he can tell you on a PR basis, "These are my kids with Beyonce."
hmm
Like that's it. You don't need to know if I have any kids with anyone
Yeah.
else. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think, yeah, like he just handles his business, man. Handles it like it's the same with like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. They have all their issues and they had their stain. Was it last year? They,
Last year, yeah, with August Alsina.
entanglement.
Entanglements in the sheets. Yeah.
Yeah,
Again,
so
what a moment for social media. Again, the memes are flying.
memes are
I've
flying
never,
everywhere.
yeah, I've never heard of the word entanglement before Jada Pinkett said that.
I thought she made up that word, and I went and looked it up, and it meant exactly what she was talking about. I couldn't believe it.
Madness, madness. Even the Will Smith memes are still going around to this
Yeah,
day. I see
yeah,
football Twitter's got a hold of it, and they put the face of him crying in an Arsenal shirt and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Man.
yeah,
It
yeah,
lives
yeah.
on.
It
It
does
lives
live on.
on.
Yeah, man. So like, yeah, like all of that, and like again, I feel like I like the way they've been handling their things, even up to that point, because I feel like so everything that was going on, the talk of this and like Scientology and them having open relationships and all this other stuff, that was all under wraps, under their control. But with this, because August Alsina actually came out and said something, that's what
Mm,
kind of blew everything up. Otherwise, it wouldn't have. Do you know what I'm
mm,
saying? So, like, again, I kind of respect the way they handle things as well, because not everything is for the public. Like, no
nah,
matter
man.
how famous you get or whatever, you're gonna have issues and stuff like that. And the public don't need to know everything like that. You're fans,
Mhm,
you can be fans of my music, my hair, blah blah, but you don't need to be fans of the my day-to-day life and what I'm dealing with. Like you
mhm,
don't need to have that type of insight. And I think Jay-Z and Beyonce have it down to a T. And there's probably so many others that have it down to a T as well. But like it's really, I feel like it's like really important because they don't try. I feel like
mhm,
they don't try and monetize off that, so to speak, but they will express it through their art. Do you know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Like, because as an artist, that's what you're gonna do. You express how you feel through that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like, okay, we're gonna drop the elevator fight and then we're gonna drop the album. Like they would, to
Yeah.
them, that's not how they would ever do things. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta respect them for that. But that's no disrespect to the Kardashians. They are the queens. They are social media royalty. hands down to them. They have absolutely killed it, and like we just kind of touched light on, I guess, some of their formulas and secrets, like being able to guess build up like their personal connection, so people feeling like they do follow them and know them, being able to leverage all their followers and turning them into kind of like paying customers and building hype. That's already just three things that are probably secrets that you probably might not be totally aware of, so to speak.
Hmm.
So yeah, man, big them up, man, big them up. But yeah, man, I feel like we've spoken so much about that, man. I wanted to just um touch on, I guess, something else that just happened over this past week. I'm not sure if you actually saw it, but Elon Musk, again, I call him a PR god because he always comes up with something that's just out of this world.
Hmm.
And he's announced the Tesla bot, like the human basically robot. Like literally, it looks like the things from iRobot. Like
Yeah, I
they're
think I
there.
saw that. I saw it on Made You Think, and it's scary. I'm not gonna lie. If I saw it in the street, I'm running. I'm running. It's a scary sight, but I guess that's the world we're going into, man. Like
Trust
Elon
me,
Musk,
it
like you
is.
said, he's paving the way for these technical advances, and
Yeah.
we could be there sooner than we think.
I still think we're a long way from it because I feel like I don't like. So basically, the statement comes out saying that like these robots are designed to eliminate any dangerous and repetitive, boring tasks for humans.
Mm.
So like again, maybe talking boring tasks. Like what's a boring task? Like me switching on the TV. Like is my robot gonna switch on my TV or my light?
Mm.
That could be deemed as boring. I don't necessarily want any of that. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
no, keep that away from me. Yeah, keep that away from me.
I think
Um,
I feel like I'd be more interested in turning myself into a robot. Like us
really?
having like yeah, I feel like that would be I feel like that's what people want, not a robot. Do you get what I mean? Like I feel like
Hmm.
you want technology to be entwined with you as opposed to being separated from you and then you're kind of worthless. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I feel like if I could have like obviously this goes back into Black Mirror episodes and things like that, but like if you could like roll back and really watch your memories and you have an accurate view of everything and you could just tap your head and you could just do that and see that,
Hmm.
I think that might be something that people are actually interested in.
Hmm.
You know,
I think
like
I think we'll get to that stage in our lifetime.
in that lifetime, I don't know, that's scary, bro. Like,
I kind of think the way things are going, like there's, I wouldn't put it past us that we'll get to the stage where like Elias and Killian are talking about these things in like their early 20s, and we're like, no, I'm not, no, I'm not going into that. Same way I talk to my mum about online banking. I reckon it's the same. It's gonna be the same thing with us. To just we might hold back in terms of where technology is going, but
I'm not trying to hold back, man. I'm not trying to hold back. You know, you know what? It's funny that you say that because I feel like my dad and I when I think about it, I don't know if your dad does this, but like he comes up with some of the maddest things that he thinks technology should do, and they can't do it yet. Like,
like
like,
what?
like so it's like it's literally like merging like old tech with new tech and like trying to transfer that old tech into like new tech. So it could be like getting your vinyls and then getting them onto like MP3 and then getting it onto um I don't know, like yeah, getting them onto MP3 and then getting it onto a memory stick and then you know getting it onto your TV or something like that, as opposed to
Okay.
just like trying to find a song. Like it's just like every time I go to my dad's house, sometimes he's asking me for the most maddest, oldest, newest tech. Like, and I'm just like, and I get lost because it's like, yo, I just use Spotify or big up
Mm.
Tidal. Like, do you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like, I don't need to like try and find this mix from a dance in 1984. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He's like, yo, but
Yeah,
why believe he had this song? Can you find it? And I'm like, what's the name of the song? No, 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 no. It's a dub plate or it's a do you know what I mean? It's like
yeah. Mm.
and he's like, there's no technology for that right now.
No.
Like
There might not ever be.
And it might
Yeah.
not ever be. Do you know what I'm saying? But he's still searching for
Mm.
that type of technology. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think like technology where we are now is like we're all trying to get connected, and we're trying to like get to like the point of like self driving cars and automation and things like that. But now we're gonna go into space, and I think like you're us trying to fly, trying to create things like the flying skateboards, and I don't know if flying cars is a thing, but I know obviously back in the day that's kind of what sci-fi movies really tried to project,
Yeah.
is like flying cars, but that's not kind of where we're getting into. But we're seeing cars as having way more
Automation.
automation and
Hmm.
software, and I think that's the point of what you want to see. You don't necessarily feel like there's a need for flying cars. It just would be cool, but
Mm.
like you got roads, you can utilize them, but maybe they need to be a little bit more automated. You know,
Yeah.
maybe we need to have like, you know, 8-seat cars, 9-seat cars, or whatever. Maybe use the space of a car in a different way. Like it needs to be like innovated in a completely different way as opposed to just trying to pollute the air and stuff. Like, do you
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because
You
before,
definitely
I
get.
didn't really think of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, man. But yeah, I'm all for the kind of like Tesla bots. I just think it's a PR play. I don't think it's actually gonna happen. I feel like they're years away from that. Like, have
Mm.
you seen the dumb stuff that? No offense to any robot inventors, but what they do with robots nowadays is stupid. Like,
What have you
they do
seen?
nothing. Like there was like they move all they don't move like humans. Like they're not like idols, but like they don't like,
Mm.
oh, do you want a cup of tea? Here you go. Like it's
Mm.
bare big, it's in the way. Like if they're trying to make a
I see it.
coffee,
I see
you
it.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they don't have a touch like to be able to pick up cups and stuff like that. It doesn't have any of that because
Mm.
I don't want to say it's impossible, but it basically is impossible. So you need to
Mm.
think of robots in a completely different way.
Yeah.
Like
Internet. Yeah. They're not
yeah,
at the streamlining process where it can become our everyday lives. Like the word,
trust
I
me.
think, yeah, when you think of the word robot, you think of like iRobot and them type
Yeah. But
those
that's
type
like
of
made
things.
up.
But yeah.
No one has that, and then robots have like this is what I say like it has to get to a point of like the technology is molded into with humankind because like in those movies you see like a robot having what's it called like feelings and a heart and like making it being able to make its own decisions and stuff like that, but like I feel like that's only something that you can get by being human, you know. That's why we're like kind of technically top of the food chain. So it's like I think if you guys are interested in robots and humankind and what robots maybe could look like and should look like in the future going forward, I think you should watch Bicentennial Man. With I think it's got Robin Williams in it, like R.I.P. But like that movie is amazing. Like when it comes to like bringing like certain robots into society and into real life, I just feel like that's what could happen. It's basically a
Mhm.
journey of a robot becoming a human, basically, as
Okay.
close to a human as they could get, to the point where they actually die. Sorry, spoiler alert. But yeah,
Spoiler.
that's what happened.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie. So definitely check that out, man. Um, and yeah, I feel like that's how it needs to be because, like, some of the videos, like Marcus Brownlee, if you watch he does like a few videos on robots and stuff. There's like even if you type in on YouTube like parkour, you know what parkour is, right? Like
I don't
parkour is like the guys that do like jump from like one building to the next building and they
know.
land and
Okay.
they
Yeah,
just
yeah,
flip.
yeah.
They got like parkour
Freezing.
robots. Like it's robots for pointless things. Like,
Yeah, you
and
don't
they
need
don't move like humans. Do you know what I mean? It's like like if you had a robot in your house, all you're gonna hear is like zzz, zzz,
that.
zzz, like the technology is not there yet.
Mm.
Like, so it's all a bit long, man. But yeah, like I'm not sure about it, but I'm looking forward to seeing the development between kind of technology and humans, and just humans being able to maybe do a little like enhancing themselves, you know,
Hmm.
so they might be able to fly to space themselves, or they might be able to have access to oxygen whilst they're up in space through, you know, something else like, and we're basically all just Avengers. Like, yeah,
Imagine.
do
Imagine
you
the
know what I
world.
mean?
Imagine the world. But it would be chaos.
It would be chaos, and that's the worst thing. That's why I feel like a lot of the technology that we're like you mentioned and that you think we'll see in our lifetime, I just feel like it has to plateau, like it because you're just moving way too fast, man.
hmm
It has to plateau because once
We end up
everything
killing
goes like
ourselves.
that, it'll be too chaos. Yeah, we literally will
Yeah.
kill ourselves. Right? Literally, like it's like literally like it's like when you got like world wars. How can there be another world war? The world would just end
Mm.
because people have enough technology to wipe out a whole country instantly. Imagine everyone press that button, we're all dead. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Crazy.
So
Yeah.
the technology is at that point where it's like it's too dangerous. So like we're gonna get to that point where like, okay, if we just do this button, then we're all gonna wipe out. And then
hmm
people are gonna decide to just wipe out. Okay, we're just gonna wipe up all those rest of those countries without telling them, and we'll just be the best race in the world. But then you lose out on everything. Like you won't have like the economy and blah 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 blah, like all these different things. Like it doesn't work. You need to have humankind like spread out to have the type of world that we have now. So yeah, man, mad thing, mad thing. But yeah,
Definitely.
I'm rambling, man. I'm rambling. We need to start start wrapping up. We're short for time.
Mm.
Social media updates. Quick one. I got three for you. TikTok announces new Shopify shop tab for approved merchants. So again, it's the same thing. I think we say it every single podcast episode. Uh, a lot of these social media, a lot of these social media platforms are just copying the other social media platforms.
hmm
So basically, TikTok has taken a leaf out of Instagram's book, and now you can add a shop if you're like approved on Shopify, and you can add that onto your TikTok, and people can purchase some of your products.
hmm
So I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of that. I got a
Definitely.
new
I think
product
it's
coming out.
yeah,
So
I read today actually from The Verge. It's a quite a good like digital marketing website.
yeah,
Speaking about the how Instagram and Facebook ads are in a decline because of
yeah,
iOS 14 and COVID and what the pandemic has led to business kind of thinking about how they spend their budget. And a lot of businesses are now looking to use the same budget they had or less of a budget across more platforms rather than the main ones like Google and Facebook. So like yeah, that with TikTok making that move there, I think it's important for them because I feel like more brands are going to look into that space in terms of targeting a younger consumer. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's big
100%.
move for them. They just seem to be doing the right things at the moment.
Yeah, it's good, man. They're trying to get their piece of the market share for them to stay relevant, and
hmm
that's what makes them in that social media super league, man. So yeah,
hmm
man, that's big stuff, big stuff, big stuff. The next update is OnlyFans. You touched on it earlier, so I think it's been about a couple of weeks now. I think or a week or two ago. OnlyFans mentioned that they were gonna scrap all sexual explicit material that's on their site and try and focus on creators that don't make sexual content, where which is mad because their content is basically
Based on
like
that.
of a yeah, like that's
Mm.
basically what it is. But they've actually scrapped that idea now, and they're gonna keep that. Um, I guess they're gonna keep it. So it says OnlyFans, the user-generated adult content site, is reversing course on plans to ban sexual explicit content after securing an agreement with its payment processors. So this again sounds like another PR stunt. Saying, look, we're gonna upset all our users
hmm
if you don't lower your payment process fees. Do you know what I
hmm
mean?
Yeah.
Strike a new deal, you know what I mean? Get like good like 4% off or something or whatever it much it
hmm
is. And yeah, it seems like it's worked. So
It'd be
yeah,
interesting
only
to see how that yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that affected users and the creators on the account to see if they change their process in terms of trying to move their following from OnlyFans to somewhere else, if they got less downloads that month or what the impact might have been from that.
yeah, true. I think they would have just moved to a different platform, man. We've seen it in the past, like so like Tumblr. Tumblr was all used to be like very chic, quite quirky, certain audience, and then suddenly this became an influx of just like it basically became a porn site. And
Mm.
then Tumblr removed, I think once Tumblr was bought by, oh, don't tell me, they got bought by a company. It's the same company that owns AOL. I can't remember the name for the life of me now.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, they bought Tumblr and then they removed all the sexual content, and then all that everyone from Tumblr basically moved to Twitter and OnlyFans.
Okay.
And then yeah, so I feel like that's what the play on some of these platforms are. Is like, okay, if you can't do that on this platform because you're about to be banned, we'll take you. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Increases the users, increases the activities, you know, more place for ads and stuff like that. So I feel like yeah, it would have been easy for them to just jump onto another platform because it's got to exist and it's a market share that Instagram don't have, Facebook don't have. Um, so I think Twitter has it slightly, but obviously OnlyFans is the place for it. So
Mm. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, definitely would have been interesting. Third update is Instagram. Oh yeah, so like a month ago, I think we discussed this actually. Instagram said they were removing the swipe up links for stories and replacing that function with like link stickers.
Mhm.
Um, and I think it's meant to be available for all as opposed to just being 10K and up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's another big move, man. Obviously they're just trying to increase the interaction on their stories, which is good. I like that. I think the questions is really good on stories. I love
Mhm.
having little debates on there and stuff like that.
Mm. I feel like
Um,
it also
oh,
makes it a bit more inclusive as well, open it up to more people instead of people with 10K followers. Because I know
yeah,
they've mentioned how they want to support small businesses in the past, but how are you supporting small businesses if you're not allowing them to swipe up through
yeah, exactly,
stories? So again,
exactly,
a good move that was it's probably needed. And I feel like this should have come ages ago, like years ago, before the pandemic. But
100%. I agree.
yeah.
I agree.
But again, yeah,
I
again, good move, and hopefully a lot of people will be able to utilize that and get more traffic to their website. Because
agree.
yeah, as a small business, if you've not before, if you didn't, obviously you can't link to a through a post unless you've tagged a product, which is only being it's only came in the last like 18 months, and you can't do it through stories. Organic website pushes are limited. So yeah, it's helping small businesses, which is always a good move.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's good. It's definitely good, man. Us being small businesses, definitely trying to take advantage of it, man, for sure.
Mm.
So yeah, thank you for that Instagram, man. Thank you
Yeah,
for that.
finally.
Yeah, that. But I think that's it, man. I think that's what we got for this week, man. This is definitely probably the longest episodes we've done for
Hmm.
sure. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I can see that our following list is well, not our following list, our listening list is definitely growing. Like I've seen some of the analytics, and we're getting more downloads, a few more views. Don't forget, you can check us out on YouTube. On just type in the Social Living Podcast or type in hashtag Living Agency, and all the episodes are available up on YouTube. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We are on Apple Music. If there's anywhere else that I'm forgetting, yeah, you might have to remind me. But yeah, we're basically on all major platforms. And also, we're on Instagram in terms of IGTV as well. So all the episodes go up there. Just check that out on the hashtag living.agency Instagram page. So yeah, man, thank you guys for listening. And until next week, man, we
Yeah,
out.
man. We're out. We out.
We out.